Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is your favorite show, Daily Calls. This is where you can ask all your stock related queries to top market experts who join in and solve all your queries on the show with the next 45-50 minutes odd. We can also address all your queries that you send in on our WhatsApp number that's flashing on your screens. Don't forget to mention your name, location and your contact details so that we can also give you an opportunity to speak to our guests and also take a custom made advice for yourself on the show live. Alternatively, you can also use the YouTube platform where you're watching our show live on and send me your questions there as well so that we can address some of those questions too. Of course, the markets are actually further declining and this is the time when most of the investors are actually nervous about what should they do in their portfolios because they must be reflecting a lot of red. But take an advice from an expert and only then take any action is what we would like to help you understand. Of course, we are joined by a special guest today. We have Nilesh from Centrum Broking joining in to help you understand what exactly should be your strategy. Warm welcome to you, Nilesh. Always good to have you on the show and speak to you as well. First, tell us, in this continuous decline in the markets, what is the level that you're looking at for the Nifty and the Nifty Bank? Do you think we can further slip from here all considerably as well?
Good afternoon, Sakshi. Absolutely. So looking at the yesterday's, in fact, Friday's breakdown where the Nifty index ended below 22,800 mark. So that was a kind of a negative close that we have seen. Overall, looking at today's follow-up move on the lower side is giving a kind of a confirmation that we are sliding further towards 22,200 to 22,300 zone. So there is still room left of another 300 point more from the current level, given the kind of a setup that we are witnessing in the sector specific like Nifty IT, where we have seen a structural breakdown. Even metals are also giving up the early gains. So in this kind of a setup where we are witnessing kind of a breakdown, so looks like a further drop from here that cannot be ruled out. Any pullback towards 22,800, 22,900 that might get sold into. And since we have monthly of an expiry in this week, so markets are likely to remain volatile. There could be possibility of a dead cat bounce from the lower levels, but these pullbacks should be used as a selling opportunity, and we expect Nifty to test 22,400 to 22,300 on immediate basis.
Okay, fair point. So the markets are further in, cautious to a negative zone. There could be a dead cat bounce, but then we could also see further slip from there on, and that could only give an opportunity to exit from some of the short-term investors. But we have a lot of questions coming in for you, Nilesh. So we'll keep coming back to the markets and the strategies, and first address our viewers' queries as well. Let's look at Avdish Thakur's question first. He's written on our YouTube platform. Welcome, Avdish, and thank you for writing in your question. He wants to know on NTPC Green for a fresh entry for long term. Now, why is this important is because the 1 month lock-in has ended and therefore we have seen a sharp decline of 7% in today's trade. The data is very limited for you, Nilesh, I understand, but from the limited data, if you could help us understand, would it point towards a fresh entry point at 98 odd levels?
So it's a recent listing, and whatever data are available with me are indicating a clear-cut downtrend in this particular counter. Today we have seen a gap down opening, and stock is witnessing a sustained pressure at the high levels. So good volume attraction can be seen today. So structure-wise, I won't advise taking any contra bet as a even as a positional bet. Better to refrain from creating any sort of a long position at current level, unless and until we see any decisive breakout upon 105, that will provide first level of confirmation of a trend reversal. But as of now, the trend looks weak, and there could be possibility that stock might slide further towards 95 to 90 as well. So NTPC Green, as of now, it's an avoid, but within this space, there are better options available that can be looked at. But for the time being, it's an avoid from my side.
Okay, fair point. Let's take the next question. This is from WhatsApp that we are getting. This is Vino Varghese from Kochi, and he says, thanks to the entire Business Today television team and respected advisors for guiding us. Thank you so much, Vino, for writing in such appreciative words. I'm glad that you are listening to the advice and following this, and I really hope that this helps you out in your long-term wealth creation journey. His question for today is, he holds 600 plus shares of Hoodco, and his purchase level was 240. And now he wants to know an exit level on this one. He wants to exit for tax loss harvesting purpose. Since we are ending March closely, a lot of people do this tax loss harvesting. For those who do not know, we will be making a special video for you where we actually help a lot of our viewers to understand a way in which even in this weak market, if you're making a loss, then you could actually book losses and also carry that forward to put it against or set it off against some of the profitability that you're getting in the markets to avoid paying any taxes. And there is also a grandfathering of the law as well. So all of that will be explained to you in a separate video. But since Vino has asked this question separately, 240 was his purchase price, Nilesh. At 184, do you think an exit price could be suggested to him?
So at present, we may see some bit of a pullback towards 195 to 200. So ideally, this pullback towards 200 should be used as an exit opportunity. Short-term structure looks weak. Positionally, it can be, added in the portfolio. Once, you book losses, I would advise to take back the position again from a position perspective. Immediate basis, the trend is looking slightly on a weaker side. We may see stock testing the levels of 170, 160 as well. But ideally, if you see any pullback towards 195 to 200, that's the good exit point.
Okay. Next, let's take another question. This one is from our YouTube viewers. Avnish Chaudhary writes in. He says, "Ma'am, इरिडा के ऊपर मेरा सवाल है. 187 के पास ऊपर गया था, लेकिन एक बार फिर से 172 के नीचे आ चुका है. मेरा परचेज लेवल 216 है और क्या स्ट्रैटेजी इस शेयर पे होनी चाहिए? अभी करंटली क्या और निवेश करना चाहिए मुझे? और इनके पास 2 लाख रुपए का निवेश करने का प्लान भी है. कुछ अच्छे स्टॉक्स पर आपकी भी राय चाह रहे हैं कि जहां पर लोअर लेवल्स पर खरीदारी कर सकें करंट लेवल्स पर भी. ठीक है, पहले इरिडा के ऊपर फोकस करते हैं. इनका जो परचेज है 216 का है. अभी क्या स्ट्रैटेजी अपनाएं? और दूसरा इनका जो सवाल है, फ्रेश इन्वेस्टमेंट करना है 2 लाख रुपीस का इनको, तो कौन से स्टॉक में लगाएं पैसे?
Right. So first of all, IREDA इस particular stock का trend continuous declining वाला है. But since market itself is declining, तो ये particular stock भी market के trend के हिसाब से continuous decline दिखा रहा है. But good part is that this particular counter has a very strong support जो कि है 155 के आसपास. तो 155 के stop loss से सबसे पहले तो अपनी long position में बने रहना है. दूसरा, अगर इस पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक के अंदर एवरेज करना है तो भी कर सकते हैं. अगर स्टॉक अगर फिर से नीचे 160 से लेके 150 के जोन में आता है तब वहां पे यहाँ पे और पोजीशन आप एवरेज अप करके चल सकते हैं. पोजिशनली ये काफी अच्छी स्टॉक है. 1 साल से ऊपर का नजरिया है तो बिल्कुल यहाँ पे आप और भी निवेश करके चल सकते हैं, एवरेज करके चल सकते हैं और अपनी पोजिशन में बने रह सकते हैं. शॉर्ट टर्म के लिहाज से जिस हिसाब से ब्रॉडर मार्केट्स में हमें पेन देखने को मिला है तो सारे स्टॉक्स में हमें उसी प्रकार की गिरावट देखने को मिल रही है. बट कंपेरेटिवली ये पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक का स्ट्रक्चर बेहतर है, आप यहाँ पे बने रह सकते हैं. और अगर निवेश करना है दूसरे विकल्प की अगर हम बात करें तो बेहतर विकल्प अवेलेबल है विद इन डिफेंस स्पेस. अगर हम बात करें तो मजगांव डॉक जैसे स्टॉक में आप पोजीशन बना के चल सकते हैं. उसके अलावा पॉलीकैप जो एक क्वालिटी स्टॉक है, करेक्शन के बाद आपको अच्छे लेवल पर ये पर्टिकुलर काउंटर मिल रहा है, यहाँ पर आप एज अ विकल्प लेके चल सकते हैं. बट ये सारे ही थोड़े पोजिशनल नजरिए यहाँ पे रखना होगा क्योंकि मार्केट अगले 1 से 2 महीना हमें अभी भी थोड़ा बहुत कंसोलिडेशन दिखाता हुआ नजर आ रहा है. तो हो सकता है कि इन सारे स्टॉक्स में और करेक्शन हमें देखने को मिले. बट नजरिया अगर थोड़ा सा पोजिशनल है तो ये सारे अच्छे स्टॉक्स है. HDFC बैंक, SBI, रिलायंस, ये कुछ एक चुनिंदा स्टॉक है जहां पर आप पोजीशन बना के चल सकते हैं. लास्टली इंडिगो, ये एक पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक है जो इनफैक्ट मार्केट के विपरीत आउट परफॉर्मेंस दिखा रहा है. तो ट्रेडिंग के पर्सपेक्टिव से लेना है तो इंडिगो को भी ध्यान में रख के चल सकते हैं. 4480 के स्टॉप लॉस से 4700 तक का मूव यहाँ देखने को.
चलिए ठीक है, यहाँ पर भी आपको राय मिल गई है कि कौन से फ्रेश स्टॉक्स में आप निवेश करने के लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी ढूंढ सकते हैं और आपके सवाल के ऊपर भी यहाँ पर जवाब मिल चुका है. नेक्स्ट वी हैव अ क्वेश्चन कमिंग इन फ्रॉम व्हाट्सएप. दिस इज फ्रॉम डैनी फर्न्स. ही इज फ्रॉम मुंबई. सेज गुड डे टू यू. गुड डे एज वेल टू यू, Danny, and thank you for writing in. His question is on Rajesh Exports, Nilesh, and he wants to know, he already has 325 shares in his portfolio and he bought it at a year ago level of around 510 rupees. Now he says he's actually waited for quite a while and he's sitting on massive losses. What should he do? Should he book losses? Should he continue to stay put? What exactly would you advise? Yes, absolutely, Danny. You've been actually sitting on the stock with a lot of losses and with patience, but there is no recovery in sight as well. Let's actually stretch the charts a bit for Rajesh Exports to see how the last 6 months and last 1 year performance has been, to get a better understanding to all the viewers with the kind of fall that we have actually seen on Rajesh Exports. Let's pull up the 6-month chart first for Rajesh Exports. In the last 6 months, it's fallen 40%. So it's a one-way downtrend that you've seen. None of the bounces were sustained, and we further kept on seeing delays, losses on this one. Rajesh Exports for you, Nilesh, better idea to switch or to hold on with the losses?
Well, Sakshi, it's too late to take a call on exit. Reason being, if you just pull up last 10 years chart, if you can, it is clearly forming a rounding top formation, a big rounding top, I would say, on a multi-month, multi-year time frame chart. And the stock has corrected drastically. Now, since it is trading in slightly oversold territory, there could be possibility of a little bit pullback. That pullback may extend towards 195 to 200 or maybe 220. So ideally, you should use this pullback to exit your position. But since he's holding since a long time, the stock has corrected drastically. So it has eroded a lot of principal amount. So if the view is to hold for longer term time frame, then I would advise to keep a strict stop loss. Now the stop loss comes around 151. So either way, you can take a call. If you want to stay put, then keep a stop loss at 150, and you can keep on trailing your stop losses. Second option you have, if at all you see any pullback towards 200, 225, that time you can probably you can review again or take the call to exit.
Okay, fair point. I hope, Danny, this has certainly helped you out in the way you should be strategizing now. Next, let's take another question. This one is from Satya CK, another viewer from our YouTube. He says, hi, good afternoon, Sakshi and the team BT. Good afternoon to you as well, Satya. He wants to know, is it advisable to shift from Poonawalla FinCorp, where I'm facing a 22% loss right now, to Manappuram Finance, as there is news about stake sale, and fundamentally and technically, is it a better stock? Okay, from Poonawalla FinCorp to Manappuram Finance. Any suggestions here? Manappuram clearly focused more on gold financing at this point in time. Do you think that has better triggers, since people are looking at hedging their positions apart from equities to even gold as an asset class, which has turned out to be a better performer all of last year and continues to perform well in the new year as well so far with 11-12% returns?
Both the stock has a different structure now. Poonawalla FinCorp is constantly witnessing a decline, trading in a falling channel. Structure is looking weak, but I won't advise to exit and switch to Manappuram Finance, because Manappuram Finance, the news has already been discounted and the stock has already witnessed a bit of a spurt. But if you want to make a fresh investment in Manappuram Finance, it can be added in a staggered manner. The structure looks strong and the stock has a potential to test 225 to 250 as well. One can keep a stop loss below 195, and this particular bet can be initiated. But taking an exit call at Poonawalla FinCorp would be difficult because the stock is currently in the oversold territory. I would advise to wait for a better pullback, and that pullback should be used as an exit opportunity. But if you have capital to deploy, then Manappuram Finance can be added, but buy in a staggered manner, and the upside target would be somewhere around 220 to 240.
Okay, fair point. I hope, Satya, this has answered your question. We have another question coming in from one of our viewers. This is Mr. Jay Rami Reddy. He says, I have Nandan Denim shares. I have been holding almost 80,000 shares of Nandan Denim. I bought it at 5 rupees. Shall I add more at the current levels of Nandan Denim? Okay, let's pull up the stock. He actually bought the stock when it was a penny category stock, just 5 rupees odd. Today also it's about 3.6 rupees. So further penny is what it is looking at. You know what, Nilesh, a lot of investors, they actually think it is a better strategy if you go for a low ticket price stock, something like 5 rupees, thinking that how much lower can a 5 rupees stock can really fall to, and they actually get into an investment of large quantities. In this case it is 80,000. Some people will go in for lakhs and lakhs of, because their overall investment capacity will be higher, but they will just get so many more stocks in that same price. Is it a wise strategy, or should one actually go for quality stocks which have a promising technical or fundamentals, rather than a story which has actually not proved at all on Nandan Denims?
Absolutely, Sakshi. So you have brought forward a right point. The thing is that the stock may be trading at 1 rupees, 2 rupees, 3 rupees. Not necessarily this particular valuation will be attractive, because the stock might not have a potential to move higher. That may be the reason the stock is trading in the very low category, that penny category. Now, coming to NDL, Nandan Denim, the stock is trading at a 3.65 right now, and it has made a high of near about 6 to 7 rupees earlier. And since then, we are constantly witnessing a formation of a lower top and lower bottom. The problem with this counter is that the stock has been on a lower circuit in between, so it will not give you an exit opportunity because of the circuit limits. And secondly, the stock may frustrate you with a kind of consolidation. You might have to hold for a little longer as well. So we basically don't advise to trade in this kind of penny stock, be it 5 rupees, be it 10 rupees, unless and until you have any quality in it. So better to avoid, and better focus on quality stock with the same quantum. Whatever money that you are investing in penny stocks, use those money to invest in the quality stock. At least you will get some, safety margin of safety will be there, and return, if return will be linked to the market. Now, these kind of stocks are more sort of operator driven. So you don't have any clue about the fundamental, neither technical, and you might get land up somewhere on the lower side. So better to avoid trading in all these sort of penny stock. That's the advice we give. And as far as NDL is concerned, it's an exit on pullback.
Fair point. I hope, Mr. Reddy, this has given you some clarity as to how should you be very, very cautious when it comes to penny stocks and lower ticket stocks, only and only if the stock really has fundamentals and technicals to back it, or you have a financial advisor really advising you on it. Can you actually go for it? Otherwise, it's your hard-earned money. We'd advise you to really look at better stocks with better fundamentals and technicals. Maybe you might not get the anticipated returns that you may be thinking that a small ticket stock can give you, but at least your capital will be protected. So please, all the viewers who look at penny category stocks thinking that they end up making good money, you have to be really, really cautious, especially at the current setup in the markets. You know, there was a time about a year ago or so when the markets were just on a complete uptrend. After COVID, there has been a one-way rally where everything really made money that you touched without knowing whether the stock really had the potential in it. But now is not the time. We are in the 5th month of losses in the markets. Market cycle has turned for the worse. There are no triggers that the markets are actually able to latch on to for an uptrend or a reversal at this point in time. The shape and the tenor of the markets has completely changed. But at this point in time, we are hopeful that the recovery will happen. But at this point in time, you really need to be with quality stocks to protect and hedge your portfolios. Let's look at some of the other questions that are coming in. Sugandha from Delhi writes in on our WhatsApp, says, I'm completely stuck in Tata Motors and in Geo Finance. I bought them for a 6-month view, but now it's become a lifetime investment. I bought Tata Motors at 830, 300 shares. Geo Finance I bought at 310, 500 shares. Both the stocks have come off. Sugandha, we understand that you're feeling stuck. A lot of people, in fact, Tata Motors, which was an erstwhile favorite that went up in 4 digits and beyond, continued to perform very well, has actually turned for the worse. For a long time, it was stuck between 700 and 800 levels. It's now slipped even below. We'll try and find out whether things will actually turn better. But as a company, as a conglomerate Tata Motors, there is nothing wrong. Of course, things are turning for the worse because of JLR, muted demand, there's aggressive competition in EV space, lower demand for PVs, and that's the problem with all the companies that are facing at this point in time, and therefore you're not seeing an inherent strength in Tata Motors to jump. Geo Finance, a case which actually again rallied quite sharply, valuations were higher and have not been able to catch up in this weakening setup. We'll try and help you understand as to whether you should stick to them, have a broader horizon. You, of course, had a 6-month horizon that has already changed, but we'll find out the best strategy from Nilesh for you. Tata Motors and Geo Finance. What will you say, Nilesh?
See, both the stocks have corrected sharply from the highs, and if you just pull up previous 8 months chart of Tata Motors, we have seen a constant decline. It's a kind of a slide that we have seen in this particular stock. Looks like it is going further down from here. It is one of the underperformer within the auto pack, and given the kind of news that Tesla entry in the Indian market will be again a kind of a boon for this particular counter. It is likely to be affected due to that, and the structure is also looking weak on technical front. So we expect a sort of a pullback, but this pullback is unlikely to be sustainable. Here, since you are already holding for a 6 months now, uh, I would advise to take a little longer view. The fundamental of the company remains strong, and we may see a reversal in the cycle of the auto space going forward. Maybe it will take 6 to 8 months, or maybe a 1 year plus kind of a time frame, but not advisable to cut your losses at this price at least. So extend your time horizon, and if you want to put strict stop loss here, then I would advise to follow a level of 650. If it falls below 650, then review again or take a call of exit. Similar with the case of Geo Finance as well. See, fundamentally, this again a good company, strong fundamentals. So there could be possibility of a revival, but that may take another 6 to 8 months time frame. At present, there are possibility of a pullback. Pullback may extend towards 260, 280, and the support is at 210. So ideally, one should keep a stop loss below 210. If it falls below the same, then either review or take a call on exit. But as of now, it's a hold.
As of now, it's a hold. Momita from Kolkata writes in, says, hi Sakshi, is it a good time to add HCC, Hindustan Construction Company, for the next 6 to 12 months perspective? Construction company right there, HCC. Any suggestions here for the next 6 to 12 months, or do you see it's a good time to enter?
Sakshi, you're talking about SCC that is trading at 26 rupees right now. And this particular counter, if you see the structure, the kind of carnage that we have seen in the Nifty small cap and mid cap, due to which the stock has also corrected sharply. Now, good part after this correction in this particular counter specifically is that it has come to its multi-month support zone of 23. So 23, first of all, should be the strict stop loss. If it falls below the same, then the next target comes around 90. So keep a stop loss of 23, and if you see any pullback towards 28.30, use that pullback to exit. So this is basically a short-term view. And if you talk about long-term view, the stock has a potential to witness some kind of a rebound towards 35 to 38 or maybe 40 as well. But
Yeah.
for that, you may have to wait for a little longer. So keep a stop loss and stay put. That's the advice for the time being.
Fair point. Another question coming in from Ankur Modi on our YouTube. He says, hi Sakshi, can I buy CDSL and Varun Beverages also at the current level? I have a long-term view. Okay, both these stocks have actually had a good past in terms of the returns that they have delivered to investors. CDSL is from the capital market space and Varun Beverages from the QSR space. It's a PepsiCo bottler as well. So let's actually look at whether these two stocks are in a thick zone. Despite the weakness in the markets, Varun Beverages today is up by 2%, whereas CDSL is down 2.5% at 12.24. Let's figure out if these are good times to enter CDSL and Varun Beverages. Nilesh.
Well, Sakshi, so if we talk about quality stocks in this corrected market environment, so these are the names that should be added in the portfolio. If you see any revival in the market, these are the stocks which are likely to outperform. So first of all, CDSL structure from purely from a short-term point of view is indicating more sort of a consolidation with slightly negative bias. But positionally, I think these are good levels to enter, buy in a staggered manner, and on the upside, from a 1 year plus kind of a time frame, we may see a gradual up move as well. So good price at current level as well, and on declines as well. 1100 should be the stop loss and has a potential to test 1400 to 1500 from a positional perspective. Apart from that, BPL today we have seen a good follow-up move in this particular counter after a sharp decline, and the stock has a very strong support at 455. So that should be the stop loss, can be added at current level as well. And we may see a pullback towards 500 to 525 from a short-term point of view. But positionally, as mentioned, both the stocks are good, can be added as a positional bet.
Okay, got that. Let's take another one. This is from Swati from Punjab. She says, I need a view on Star Cement. I bought the stock at 220. The other one also is from cement space in my portfolio, Udaipur Cement. I bought it at 32 levels. What should I do? Star Cement at 220, Udaipur Cement at 32. Should I hold or average at this point in time?
See, Star Cement is a little better compared to Udaipur Cement because we are witnessing more sort of a consolidation. We haven't seen any correction in Star Cement. So this particular counter can be added to average your position, keep a stop loss below 195 because 195 is a very strong support. So this particular counter can be added at current level as well, and we can expect a pullback towards 230, 240, or maybe 240, 250 on the upside. Udaipur Cement, on the other hand, is looking weak, and we have seen a constant formation of a lower top and low bottom. So structure wise, looks like it is heading towards 25 to 24 on the lower side. So better avoid for the time being, and till the time we see any strong reversal candle.
Okay. Another question is from Vinod Chaudhary. He says, good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you so much for doing this for retail investors. I want to know on two stocks, REC and PCBL. Multiple entry levels is what I need. What would you suggest? PCBL, Philips Carbon Black from the RPSG group, and REC Limited from the rural electrification or the power financing space. Your sense?
Both the stocks are good from a positional perspective again. So this correction, in fact, is a good opportunity in these stocks to accumulate. As far as fresh entry is concerned in PCBL, wait for some dip towards 370. That can be a first entry point, followed by 345. That's the next major support. If at all it reaches those levels, then probably one can average the position. And the stop loss for all the long positions should be placed below 310. Coming to REC Limited, again, we have seen a good decline in this particular counter. Multi-month support, which is coming around 360. So 360 should be the stop loss. Any dip from here can be used as a buying opportunity, keeping the stop loss below 360.
Okay, fair point. Right. In the end, I'll take one more question with you, Nilesh, and this one is from one of our viewers who wants you to suggest any couple of fundamentally strong stocks as well. Again, this is Vinod who says if you could suggest in the current market. Some of them you've already named. Anything else to add to the list?
We spoke about Indigo that can be played from a short-term point of view. Even good stories there. You have a couple of tech stocks where we have seen a good correction. Counters like Dixon Technologies, Games Technology. These stocks have given a good, decent correction. Can be looked at from a position perspective. Now, coming to quality stock, you have large cap itself that are available at a corrected price. Counters like Reliance, SBI, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank. So these are good stocks to accumulate, and in this kind of corrective environment, it is a better approach to add quality stocks in the portfolio. And focus should be on the large cap rather than small and mid cap because if we have to see any recovery, that should come from the large cap stock. And these are the stocks that we have mentioned. One can focus on sectorial theme. ITs and avoid for the time being. Pharma can be looked at from a position perspective. And apart from that, you have cement. Couple of cements are also looking strong, so that can also be added from a position perspective, like Ultratech Cement, JK Cement. Specifically, these two stocks within Cement Pack are looking positive. So yes, these are few names that can be added in the portfolio.
Okay, well, Nilesh, thank you so much for being with us then today and patiently answering all the questions of our viewers. Yes, it's a weak setup of the market, but there is, strategy that needs to be applied on all the stocks that are in your portfolio with the guidance that our market experts, including Nilesh, has shared. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time, Nilesh, on this show. All right, we enter into the second segment of the show now, viewers, and we will also welcome another guest on the show. We have Kush Kodasar now joining in. Hi, Kush, warm welcome. Good to have you with us. Well, you're the one who had been consistently talking about weakness in the markets that could be seen, and now crucial levels have further been tested as well. 22,800 was tested on Friday. Again, we have breached below 22,600 now on a decisive way. Tell us what is next for the markets. How much more downside do you see from here? Is this again a sell on rise kind of a market? Is it where most of the short strategies should now be in place in the current setup?
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me on the show. Definitely, market is still looking weak, but shorting at current level is not advisable. Maybe if you have shorted around 23,600, then it's time to, book some profit. I am expecting some bounce back intraday or maybe a day or two. Overall, if you look now, next support would be at 4th June low, which was around 21,200. So I think now that low can be tested, but it won't be a free fall. It would be a volatile move ahead. So you will get bounces in intra week. So that would be an opportunity to exit longs if you are not exited, and you can go short on the higher level. So shorting around 22,800, 22,900 is more safer. But if at all you have already made some shorts, then definitely start booking some profits at least for this week.
Fair point. I hope this has also given you a lot of understanding, viewers, as far as how the markets may be going. Some bounces could be expected. Well, Kush, we will take some queries that are coming in from our viewers for you, and we'll keep on asking you also on strategies for various sectors in the interim. We have a question coming in from Arun Kumar Gupta. He says, "Good afternoon. I have got Angel One 100 shares at the rate of 3,235. And I have a long term view. I want your advice on this one. Angel One. Today there was some uptick in the initial part, but again it slipped and now it's down by 3.3%. This has been an erstwhile favorite in the capital market spaces. 2278 right now. It's definitely below his own purchase level. He's been patiently waiting for that to return. Any suggestion on this?
Maybe I would, for long term, definitely it is looking good. But I think we may see some good correction on broking stocks because volume will go down gradually, trading volumes. So, for example, main income for brokerage is when there is tremendous trading, short-term trading. So, as we know, rules of F&O has changed. I believe trading is going to fizzle out for some time. So, I am not of a view from current levels that we will see a good jump. So if at all you want to, stay invested in this sector, you can exit Angel One and maybe invest in AMCs. So HDFC AMC is my pick because I'm sure SIP are going to increase. So that would eventually give a good move on AMCs. So same sector, but a different product line. So exit Angel One at current levels, maybe book some loss, and you can invest same amount in HDFC AMC at current level.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has answered your question. Next, we have a caller with us. Mr. Dodia Chandra Singh is with us on the phone line. He's from New Delhi. कैसे हैं चंद्र सिंह जी?
गुड आफ्टरनून मैम, आप
गुड
कैसे हो?
आफ्टरनून। मैं ठीक हूँ, बताइए क्या सवाल है आज का?
मैम मेरे दो क्वेश्चन थे स्टॉक के बारे में, बीडीएल और बीईएल, भारत
ठीक है।
डायनामिक एरो और भारत इलेक्ट्रॉनिक लिमिटेड। इस
ओके।
दोनों में से अभी कौन से में बेस्ट मतलब की अपॉर्चुनिटी है अभी इस लेवल पे बाय करने के लिए, या और डाउन हो सकते हैं दोनों? 3 साल का व्यू है मैम।
ओके श्योर, हम अपने गेस्ट से आपके लिए राय दिलवाते हैं। कुश कुदसारा है हमारे साथ। दोनों डिफेंस स्पेस के क्षेत्र के स्टॉक्स इन्होंने चुने हैं। भारत डायनामिक्स आज करीब 1.5% ऊपर, और भारत इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स जो भी अपने ऊपरी स्तरों से काफ़ी नीचे आ चुका है ऑलरेडी। अब ये जानना चाह रहे हैं कि अगले 3 साल तक का अगर इनका नज़रिया है तो क्या करंट लेवल्स पर बीडीएल और बीईएल में खरीदारी करें, या फिर और ये नीचे जाएं और उस लेवल का वेट करें? कुछ
मुझे लग रहा है कि थोड़ा और वेट कीजिए, थोड़ा और नीचे जाने की संभावना है बीडीएल की, भारत डायनामिक्स की। तो बीडीएल में आप थोड़ा वेट कर सकते हो। बट हाँ बीईएल में आप अगर 100 रुपए इन्वेस्ट करना चाहते हो तो 50 रुपए आज इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हो 256 के आसपास। मेरे ख्याल से ये साइडवेज रहेगा और अगर करेक्ट होता है तो हम नीचे एवरेजिंग करेंगे। बट यस मे बी बीईएल इज एट सपोर्ट लेवल, तो यहाँ से शायद रैली शुरू हो सकती है। सो बीईएल में थोड़ा कॉन्फिडेंस है तो वहां पे आप 50 रुपए लगाए अभी। बट बीडीएल में करेक्शन का वेट अराउंड 940 लेवल आए तो एक बार रिव्यू करके हम इन्वेस्ट करेंगे।
चलिए ठीक है, दोनों में उम्मीद करते हैं चंद्र सिंह जी आपको राय मिल गई हो। बीडीएल में थोड़ा नीचे आ सकता है और तो उसके लिए वेट करें। बीएल में अभी से ही आप स्टैगर्ड फैशन में यानी कि थोड़ा थोड़ा करके निवेश करना शुरू कर सकते हैं करंट लेवल से। अगला सवाल हमारे पास गुल का आया है। शी सेज हाय एंड आई वांट टू बाय कैम्स फॉर द नेक्स्ट 6 months to 1 year point of view. What is the right price to make a fresh entry? Again, the capital markets related stocks, Kush, you did suggest HDFC AMC, but how is CAMS looking to you?
Definitely, CAMS again is a good stock to hold on. I think that's again related to uh, mutual funds, and I think they are going to perform well. And CAMS have already given a correction of 30%, almost 40% from the higher level. So it's right time to start investing in CAMS. In a staggered manner, of course, 2,900 is a good support. So maximum downside for investment is now 4 to 5% from current levels. So invest in CAMS. Target for 6 to 8 months is around 4,200. So definitely a good buy for investment.
Okay. Satya says, could you please ask on the chart of emphasis, how is that looking? I'm sitting on a 17% loss. What should my strategy be? Okay, mid cap IT space and emphasis 17% तक का loss है. अभी क्या करें?
I think IT तो और नीचे जाएगा, खास करके मिड कैप आईटी जो इतने चले थे। सो आई
बिल्कुल.
थिंक गुड करेक्शन। 2100 मेरा एक्सपेक्टेड है ऑन द डाउन साइड। अगर आप लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टर हो तो होल्ड कर सकते हो, नीचे आएगा तो एवरेज करेंगे अगर 3-4 साल का आपका नजरिया है। लेकिन आपने ट्रेडिंग पर्सपेक्टिव से लिया है तो डिफिकल्ट है, बट एक बार लॉस बुक कर लो क्योंकि और नीचे जा सकते।
Okay, fair point. I hope this has answered your question. We will take another question. This is from one of our viewers, and this is again on our YouTube that we are getting the question. This is from Arihant Pavpant. He wants your view on two stocks. One is MMTC, PSU stock. He has bought this stock at 80 levels. The second one is from the sugar space, Sri Renuka Sugar. Here he has bought the stock at 58. He wants to know both he can hold, but should he average at the current levels or wait? MMTC at 80, Sri Renuka Sugar at 58. Averaging at the current levels, advised or no?
I'm not advising averaging on MMTC. Stock is still poised to go down. I think
Yeah.
around 45 to 50 is a good support range. So more 10% correction can be expected. So around 45 to 50 will average it out. So you can come back and review with us again at that level. While Sri Renuka Sugar, I think sugar stocks are going to remain sideways. They were expecting some good amount news in budget, but we have not seen any good momentum. So same goes with Renuka. Avoid averaging. Stock is expected to remain sideways. It's better to invest that capital somewhere else and maybe get a good move. So ultimately, your goal is earning money. So why average in same stock? So better you start buying some good FMCG stocks.
Okay, buy some FMCG stocks. We have a caller with us. Let's straight away go across to our caller then. Kalpesh Patel is with us on the phone line from Mumbai. Kalpesh ji, namaskar. कैसे हैं आप?
नमस्कार, मैं एकदम बढ़िया हूँ। आप कैसे हो?
मैं ठीक हूँ, बताइए क्या सवाल है?
मैंने निफ्टी के 4 लीडर स्टॉक शॉर्ट सेल किया हुआ है। आईटी
Okay.
एट द रेट 420, इसका टारगेट है 355। एलएनटी मेरा टारगेट है। एलएनटी शॉर्ट सेल किया हुआ है एट द रेट 3200, इसका टारगेट मेरा 2500 का है। रिलायंस शॉर्ट सेल किया हुआ है 1240, ये 100 रुपया 1144 तक आ सकता है 1144। और ये इनफी 1850 में शॉर्ट सेल किया हुआ है फ्राइडे को, क्या ये 1600 तक आ सकता है? और ये निफ्टी अगर 4 मेरे टारगेट आए तो निफ्टी क्या 21,000 तक आ जाएगी?
ओके, तो हर जगह इन्होंने शॉर्ट सेल करके पैसा कमाने का इन्होंने स्ट्रैटेजी बनाया हुआ है। कुछ पहला तो ये निफ्टी पर पूछ रहे हैं क्या 21,000 तक आ सकता है या नहीं। दूसरा आईटीसी, रिलायंस, इन्फोसिस, एलएनटी, इन सब पे इन्होंने शॉर्ट किया हुआ है। एक तो पहले निफ्टी पर व्यू बता दीजिए 21,000 का, और दूसरा फिर ये जो लार्ज कैप स्टॉक्स हैं इन्फोसिस, आईटीसी, रिलायंस, यहाँ पर कितना नीचे अभी स्टॉक्स जा सकते हैं?
डेफिनेटली पहले तो कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस कि मैं पहला ऐसा कॉलर बहुत सालों बाद देखा है कि जो शॉर्ट करके बैठा है मार्केट को, तो डेफिनेटली इट्स अ गुड थिंग। बट पहला मेरा राय ये रहेगा कि आप अपनी शॉर्ट पोजीशंस को कवर करना, तो कॉल ऑप्शंस बाय करते रहना, तो आपको मार्केट वॉलेटिलिटी का एक कवर हो जाए, ये एक पहला सजेशन है। दूसरा, डेफिनेटली निफ्टी में लग रहा है 21,250 जो 4 जून का लो है वो आ सकता है, बट वो टाइम लगेगा, तो डेफिनेटली हेज करके अपने रखिए पोजीशंस। एलएनटी आईटीसी में मुझे लग रहा है लो बीटा है, इतना नीचे करेक्ट होने के चांसेस 350 तक आईटीसी आएगा कि नहीं वो डिफिकल्ट है, क्योंकि वहां पे थोड़े डीमर्जर्स के न्यूज आते रहने वाले हैं, और एलएनटी थोड़ा साइडवेज है। पर डेफिनेटली रिलायंस और इन्फी होल्ड कर सकते हो। रिलायंस में मुझे लग रहा है 1160 1170 तक आ सकता है, और इन्फी भी आईटी स्टॉक्स भी वीक लग रहे हैं। तो आई थिंक योर स्ट्रेटेजी ऑन निफ्टी, रिलायंस एंड इन्फोसिस इज गुड। तो आईटीसी और एलएनटी में स्ट्रिक्ट स्टॉप लॉस रखना, और ओवरऑल पोजीशन को आप निफ्टी के कॉल ऑप्शंस वीकली बाय करके हेज करते रहना।
ओके कल्पेश जी, उम्मीद करते हैं यहाँ पर आपको राय मिली होगी। नेक्स्ट हमारे पास राजन का बेंगलुरु से सवाल आया है। हाय साक्षी, ट्रस्ट यू डूइंग वेल। आई एम वेल राजन, थैंक यू so much for writing in your question and I hope the same for you. He is holding 50 shares of Wipro at the rate of 305 and he wants to outlook for next 6 months and is it a good time to average the stock? Kush, you just said that IT is where you believe it could further correct from here as a whole, especially the mid cap space which had outperformed the large caps. How about Wipro? Remember when the large cap IT names were performing, Wipro and Tech Mahindra had emerged as some of the favorite stocks from the IT pack in the large cap space for the outperformance that was long awaited. But this long outperformance was short-lived and we've again seen the IT stocks come under pressure. 295 is the current level for Wipro. What would you suggest?
I believe, Wipro overall IT pack could see some correction, and Wipro could test 200 average, which is around 2. So I believe you should wait for 10% more correction. 275 is where the first stop is. So until then, you can wait for averaging. Don't average at current levels.
Okay, fair point. Let's take the next one. This one is from Vinod, and he says, in the large cap space, is it a good time to accumulate Dr. Reddy's in a staggered market in this market for next 2 to 4 years? From the pharma space, again, pharma has been an outperforming space all across 2024. But of course, pharma was also the first sector today to turn green after the initial gap down open. But what would you suggest? Is pharma a safer bet and Dr. Reddy is a large cap stock like that? Should it be looked at in the portfolio?
Definitely not at current levels, because I feel pharma stocks are highly volatile to tariffs. What Trump is planning to implement. So I think there would be still a bit of more volatility. So rather than going directly with pharma stocks, I would suggest you start SIP for next 6 months in pharma thematic fund. That would be good. So you can do SIP for next 6 months and then hold for 4 years. Then you can average out all the risk factors in coming months. So that's what I suggest.
Fair point. Okay, let's take the next one then. This one is from Mohit from Ludhiana. He wants to know on the metal stocks. So, 500 shares of SAIL, Steel Authority of India, is what he has at the rate of 104. His time horizon is 3 years. He wants you to guide him on SAIL. What would you say on this one?
Definitely, if your horizon is 5 years, definitely it's a good stock. It is a good dividend paying company. At current levels also it's looking good. So with the stop loss of 95, strict stop loss of 95, you can hold on the sale. First target would be around 150 where we can review it, above which we can even see 200 levels in coming years. So definitely a good stock to hold, but strict stop loss at 95.
Okay. Gunjan writes in, she wants to know on two stocks. One is DCM Limited. She's bought the stock at 105. The other one is Motherson Wiring at the level of 68. She says average level please बता दीजिए इन दोनों stocks पे कहाँ पर average किया जाए. DCM has come down to 100. Her purchase level was 105, so little loss there. And the other one is Motherson Wiring, where she took an entry at 68 levels.
DCM, I think somehow I think still not the right time to average. definitely it is taking support at 200 average, which is at 95, but there is no volume. So maybe we'll wait for a quarter or so before entering. So DCM avoid averaging, but keep fixed stop loss at 92. Motherson Wiring, I think this stock is a good to hold for a long term, but not a good stock to average at current levels. I think still it is in a downtrend. Around 37, 38 rupees, it would be a good stock to enter for long term and average out at that level. So for both of the stock, you can wait for some time for averaging.
Okay. Well, in the end, I'll ask you for your top choices in terms of stocks, Kush. In the current market, are you finding any stocks on the long side, or still do you think more opportunities are on the short side? If you could identify certain stocks for our viewers today.
Definitely, we should have a spread strategy. I think from here, it is at a good support. So either we will see a good short covering or maybe a fast fall. So it's better to be on the both the side. So I'm recommending to short Tata Motors at current levels and maybe buy ITC to hedge your position. I think ITC could touch 425 if we could get a good move. While on the downside, Tata Motor could touch 640. So buy ITC, sell Tata Motors.
Okay, fair point. Well, thank you then so much to you, Kush, for being with us on this edition to help all our viewers out with the solving of their queries in this very, very difficult set-off of the market. Viewers, we'll wrap it up at that on this edition of Daily Calls. But in case you are flooded with a lot of doubts in your mind when you're looking at your portfolio, then this is where you can actually come up and ask market experts the right or the apt strategy to have at the current levels. No need to panic looking at the market losses, no need to get worried. Market cycles come and go, market cycles change from troughs to they also surge as well. But at this point in time, if you are stuck in certain wrong stocks, what is the strategy that you should adopt, or where sentiments have actually turned worse for the long time? All of those questions can be put across. Send us to your questions on the WhatsApp number that's flashing on your screens. Keep sending them to us, and tomorrow is when we will meet you again at 12 noon to answer all those queries with two set of new experts joining us. So stay tuned on Business Today Television. Market coverage continues on the other side.
Face-off over the new education policy has now escalated into massive political war in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Stalin